4:35. Are we up? Good morning. Hello, gang. Another late morning this morning. I'm sorry. All kinds of changes of plans overnight, yesterday afternoon. This was supposed to be a carving stream, carving that color block for the octopus. Didn't happen. You see where we are. Hang on a second. I gotta stir the soup. Hang on. So I said it was supposed to be a carving stream, the first of the color blocks, second of the color blocks on the octopus. But today's Thursday, right? I get a phone call from Kubota-san. He's one of the outside printers we use, very experienced outside printer. He had phoned me. He's been doing Heroes prints for us one by one when he can. He's got other work to do. He's actually... Someone's on the stairs. Suga-san desho. Look at that. Wow, you're early. Hayai desho. 早い。でもキャメラさんいないでしょだから。
まだ、まあちょっと。
多分カメラさんが4時45分ぐらい来ると。
あ、そうなんだ、いつも。
だから。
じゃあそれでね。
まあ、できないと。
初めて。
そう、問題はキャメラが。
そうか。
そうか。
でも大丈夫。
もう時間かかりますね。OK.
すぐ大丈夫。
I'm sorry, six things happen. Hey, say hello.
そうか。
What are you doing? You're a star. You gotta say hello.
おはようございます。イエーイ。
You're on flight.
イエーイじゃない。
ちょっと待って。She's printing the... そう、これから。
やるやつ？
いや、久保田さん。
久保田さん。
Okay. Sugi-san is doing the TBB, what we call the TBB print, Times Burned Bright. It's the what she calls the campfire print, right? Campfire.
キャンプファイヤー進めてます。
It's the I forget the game. Chrono Trigger, and it's coming really well. We did test, no good. Test, no good. Test three times, 4 times. It's okay. It is complicated print. Don't worry about it. It's not a bad reflection on you. Hori, we fixed the carving. Try it again. Fix the carving. Test again. It was really complicated to get those color layers out. So, what she's doing now, Cameron is as he's here each day. Okay, thanks, Sugi-san.
今日あれですよね。石川さん来るって言ってた？今日は言ってない。
No.
じゃあ明日かな。違うなんか木曜か金曜かどっちかって言ってたから。でも
1週間前彼女は
言ってた
10日間後だから今週末は来ないみたいです。
そう
だから夏休みお盆とか
じゃあ10日後とかか
その話だった日曜日帰るときに来週来ないです。だからその次か10日間後
って言ってた。
そう
本当
だから
でメール来てないんだね。
じゃあ
OK
もう why am I sweating? No, I didn't say the wrong thing again. It's nothing at all. Ishika, I've taken the paper out of the fridge. I have taken the paper out of the fridge. I did my job. I took the paper out of the fridge today. Then she just said quickly, Ishika-san's coming in, didn't you know? And I'm like, no, she didn't tell me she's coming, and the paper's still in the fridge. And but no, she's not coming today. It seems. Oh, God, 6 conversations at the same time. She's doing Times Burn Bright. She's taking her time at it. There's, I forget, 80 copies or so in there. And Cameron, during the day, is doing his own work. And every time she says hi for the next one, he goes in there in videos as she takes. He puts the paper on the block and brushing and rubbing. So he's doing a set of video clips that will show the whole presentation. And my God, this is the best freaking print we've ever made. Absolutely. I keep saying this because they keep getting better, but this is the best print we've ever made so far. Okay, what else? Okay, why am I doing sizing? Whatever. I know Kubota-san, who had booked back on again a couple of weeks ago. Dave, I can do a job for you maybe. It's okay. Please send something over. So I did. I sent him, what did he do? He did, he's doing one of our back number catalogs, the Ochanomizu print. We talked about this before. He's doing the Snow White Ochanomizu print, the Hiroshige one with the English text on it. And that was all. He said, I just got time for one, which was deal. And then he phoned me yesterday afternoon. Was it yesterday afternoon? Yeah, yesterday afternoon, saying, okay, it's done. I just shipped it to you. You'll get it tomorrow. I'm like, okay, that's good. He says, I got time for one more. Now you tell me. He's waiting today for paper. And I told him before, you got to give me some advance notice because I can't just ship paper. So this is a rush job. I'm going to do some sizing. He's going to do this print for us. We are out again. We just cannot keep this thing in stock. Thank you, Ogata Korin. So he's going to do a batch of these for me. And while I'm at it, I'm also going to do the sizing for a batch of the peony and sparrow print for Kawaii-san. And then Kanai-san, she's going to start the Trouble Afoot print, the turtles. We are low on turtles, so we need those. So he crows, you can hear them. Maybe they saw what I'm doing. But as usual, I'm talking too much. I'm way behind schedule. The size I cooked up. Oh, I left the heat on. Two liters of fresh, hot size. Doesn't get any fresher than this. We use a pan with a super heavy bottom. It's got some giant thick, 8 centimeter thick metal bottom, and then the rest of it's lighter. So I don't need a double boiler for this. We can put that directly onto a low heat. The size melts without burning it. But if I leave it on, I'm not watching what's going on. It's a different story. I've got a little bit left over from last week, which we'll put it. Okay, I haven't cut my paper yet, so you just sit there for a minute. You just sit there. And of course I haven't got my paper yet. So, let's see. Everybody can do a crow. Any updates on the sand search? We've got it. The bags are in place. We did it yesterday afternoon because of the typhoon that came through last night. So Aoyama-san did it. He went to a different home center and he got some sand that was meant to be mixed into concrete. And they sold it in small bags, 20-kilogram bags, and they delivered. So he had a few 4 or 5 bags delivered yesterday afternoon. They came just as the TV crew was here. There was a TV crew filming yesterday. And we're in the middle of doing this. I'm interviewing. They're talking to me about Hokusai. I've got some Hokusai print explaining why Hokusai's use of white space is such mastery, exemplary, blah, 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 blah. The TV crew. And Aoi-san comes in the back behind me carrying bags of sand. If that's on the program. Okay, what I've got to do is I've got to figure out the cutting for this paper. I've got 3 prints. We've got Trouble Afoot, we've got the Crow print and the Peony print, and how can I best get them? This is really a job for software, you know. We should have a software program with all of our dimensions punched in, and whenever you should just, you know, the software could figure it out, the tiling. We don't have that software, so it's up to me. Okay, 155, 145. What's 145 plus 155? That adds up very nicely, actually. Because we've got paper that's 600 wide. And if we did it 145, you see here, you can't see the line. It's 600 wide, and we can do 145, 155, 145, 155. But the height I need for those two is 215 and 220, making 435. Do I have a height of 435? Let's grab a sample sheet here. I do have, this is so perfect. Okay, here we go. There's 2 different prints here. One is 220 by 145 and one's 215 by 155. How do you play that jigsaw puzzle game? What you do is you put A, B at 220. So I need 440. I've got 440. So cut them all to 220. 220 and 220 at 145, 155. A, B. Cut this paper in half and I get A, B. That'll do it. Doesn't often work out like that. Who needs software? Now, how many do I need? So I get it 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 on each sheet for each type. We need, say, 60. I think we need about 60 copies. So 60 divided by 4 is 15. So 15 sheets of this paper cut in half will do it for both of those 2 print runs. The Ukiyo-e Heroes comes from a different type of paper. What did I say? 15 sheets? Crap, it's just firefighting like this all day long, you know. Just firefighting all day long. Last minute decisions, last minute trying to figure stuff out. Maybe one of the other printers will throw me a job tonight that would have been a better match for this paper to try and work it out. We're trying to build a system so we're working in advance of all this stuff, but it's just impossible to catch up. So it's endless firefighting. There's 6 copies. I need 9 more. Excuse me a sec. Okay. Well, the artisan craftsman, not well known for pre-planning skills. That's my job, you know. It's my job to pre-plan the stuff, not to blame those people for it. Suga-san just sits at her bench, printing. When it's finished, she says, more please. I know it's my job as the master controller here to have to play with the chessboard, you know, to know where we're going, to know what pieces are going. It's totally my job. We're sort of well on the way to doing this. We have a really wonderful software suite at the back of the place here that's running this thing bit by bit by bit. But it just simply isn't there yet. It's taking years to build it. You know, each printing job goes into the system. It knows who's going to do it, you know. Okay, just a minute, don't sidetrack me for a second. Let me think this out. I've got to get the paper cut exactly in half. We'll leave the Mimi, the selvage, around the edge. Again, before I cut, let me just review one more time. It's going to be AB, so 145 and then 155. That makes 300. We know that. On this side, 145, 155 makes 300. Here it's 220 plus 220. It'll be 440. That fits in there. We're okay. There's not a whole lot extra at the edge. I think there's enough. Measure. Are we okay? Have we measured enough times? The paper is there. This is the 300 mark. That's the 0 mark. That's the 600 mark. Let's cut this. And another few $100 worth of paper goes down the drain. Not down the drain, gets going. So, to recap, this is the paper. It's going to be 2 of our prints. This is going to be the one we call Crows and Moon. It's number 45 in our catalog. And then it's going to be the one called Peony and Sparrow. I think it's number 82 or maybe number 83. I don't remember. If you're curious about what prints this will be. Number 45 in our catalog, and I think number 82 in our catalog. There's going to be 60 of each. And those two prints are not so difficult, so there won't be so much wastage. Most of this will actually become prints that go out into the market. Okay, let me get rid of this. Excuse me, back in a second. Questions. So you found sound. Yeah, I got that one. Medieval printmaking, which I'm curious about it. I know absolutely nothing about it. There's some really interesting questions. How much of it was done on the plank engraved, and how much was done how much was done on ingrain engraved, and how much was done on the plank cutting. It's really, really difficult to tell sometimes which was done which way. Hugely interesting. They made some wonderful prints. They had stuff, beautiful prints, interesting, detailed prints long before the Japanese got started. Long before the Japanese. This early little Buddhist stamping prints, but the real ukiyo-e prints that we see, the earliest ones are like the, late 16 something, but 1710, 1720, 1730 is when the Japanese thing got rolling. And the European stuff is way earlier than that. What am I doing? Etone, this paper, does it fit on which board? Doesn't fit on that board. And which brush? Oh, I could do that with this brush. This is the best brush, you know. I wonder if I can do that. Am I going to get away with it? I don't think so, because both of these prints are bleeds. They're going to be printed right to the edge of the paper. So I have no margin of error. I can't have an area of weak size at the edge of the paper. So I better use a larger brush. Reach into the drawer and pull out another brush. You talk about the mirrors and stuff, that's painters, you know. Engravers are a different breed because they're cutting on a piece of wood. And I doubt very much that somebody used a mirror and a camera obscura and set up a room to make a scene to carve on a woodblock. It didn't make much sense. The woodblocks are done from drawings, clearly. Got some hair in there. I wonder where that's from. All right, I think we are ready to go. What have we got? I forget the count. 15, so it's 30 sheets here. 15 big sheets cut in half with 30 front and back. When does the Obon festival take place? Obon is not a specific date on the calendar. It's a generic time. Different communities and different areas do it at different times. It's anywhere around now, midsummer. I know there's a date on the old traditional calendar, I think, which some festivals use as a guide. But as far as I'm saying what day is Obon, I can't say that. It's not how it works. Look up a Wikipedia page. There's probably some more information on it there. I know different parts of the country will say Obon might be August 15th or something, or the third weekend in August, or this or that. But I don't know. It's also not so much of a deal here in town. Out in rural areas, it's a much bigger deal. People will have the lanterns up in their living rooms. Just a minute here, let me get started. The reason it's a bigger deal in the countryside is the original, what can I say, the theory or the thought or the concept behind the Obon was that was the day when the people who have passed on, the dead people, come back and visit and stuff like that. And most people still are buried back at their hometowns. So there's not so many family graves here in Tokyo, but people will have their parents or whatever buried back in a good family grave out in the countryside, back in their own village. So it's not rare, quite common actually, for people to go back. They visit their family area at Obon time. In fact, Aoyama-san, one of the guys who works here, he's leaving, I think he's leaving tomorrow. He's going to spend Obon back at his family, where his family used to be, back in the Kansai area. It's an important one for him because his dad passed away this year, so it's the first Obon after his dad passed away. So his specific zone and area, that's happening this next weekend. Going well. This dosa work is so much easier in summer. We've talked about this before. So much easier in summer. It's not so bad here today. We had the typhoon last night. It just brushed Tokyo. It didn't hit Tokyo directly. It brushed us, went to the east. What temperature now? We've got high humidity because there's so much moisture and rain in the air. So we're up to 70 humidity, well, max we can get. And the temperature is 28 here in this room. It's not so bad. So it's not stinky hot today, but it's still very, very moist, very damp. And we've got another month of it left, we go well into September with this hot, damp weather. We don't get clear blue skies till the end of September or sometimes October. Coming through. あ、ごめん、キャメラ邪魔ですね。
じゃあどかしますね。
はい。
お鍋とかしちゃうね。
鍋に残った動作。
あるまだ。
いや、でもまだスティッキーですね。これから洗います。これ終わってからこのオイルで洗う。
あれ今久保田さんの？
今久保田さんと河合さん一緒に、ちょうど一緒に寸法は一緒に合わせてぴったりになりますからさ。その次は金井さんですね。ヒーロータートルスです。
河合くんはあれやるんですか？ボタンやるんですか？
そうです、そうです、そうです。はい。
ボタン。
Filming for Lonely Planet. Why didn't they come here? We're a Lonely Planet star. 今日ジェッツさんからヒーローズの注文ありましたね。
あ、そうなんですか？
私たちはヒーローズ作っておいときますね。
ああ、
ジェッツさんの注文の関係ないヒーローズ作って用意します。いつかジェッツの注文が来る。私たちがジェッツにサインしてお店です。今日注文入ったんですが、100枚以上。そう。で今コミコンとかサンディエゴコミコンとかあちこち週末毎週来ますから、彼がジクレバン40ドル、4000円とモカハンガー150ドル、1万5000円。でもちろんジクレバンが多い。T シャツもありますから。でもちょっとハンガーも売りますから。
あ、そうなんだ。
今日の注文が100枚。だから多めからチャクチャクチャクチャクチャクチャク。だからビジー。
マジで。そっかそっか、向こうは向こうでいろいろやっぱコミケとかあるんだ。
そうするとオンラインですね。ヒーローズの販売、私たちはオンラインしません。ジェットもですね。
あ、そう。
そう。だからアメリカとかヨーロッパに住んでいる人がその作品が欲しいと僕のウェブサイトから頼むできないです。
あ、そう
そ
なんだ。
これジェッツさんの作品です。でジェッツさんが出版。版元はジェッツです。
あ、そうか。
そうで僕ジェッツから買いますね。お店に出すために。
あ、そういうことなんだ。
そう。
なんかややこしいね。うちで作って、ジェットさんに
送って、サイン入れて、インダッカーに入れて、またここに戻る。そう。Explain to you how the heroes prints work. We make batches of heroes prints here. Once they're finished, they sit here on the shelf. They're not signed or sealed or anything. We're just sitting. We're getting ready for orders. We make the prints in advance to try and stay in advance. They're not made to order. Then Jed, every now and then, because he's been selling them at conventions or online or whatever, every now and then Jed sends us an order. Hi, send me 10 of these, 20 of these, 15 of these, whatever. We send them over to him. He pays us for them, of course. And he puts his signature and sign, whatever, and seal, and sells them out around the world. And then we buy from him on a wholesale price some to come back and put into the shop. So I was just telling her, there's a big order came in last night for 100 copies. So all the stuff she's made the last few weeks, it's gone. Have we ever had a storm's humidity ruin a set of prints? No. That's not going to be a factor. To make a set of prints, the print run she's doing right now, the Times Burn Bright, she starts with the paper. I give it to her, paper that's been sized and dried. It's paper that's on the shelf. She starts with the paper, and before she prints anything, she has to moisten the paper. She soaks it, moistens it, gets it wet, 100% humidity. Bang, gets it in a pack, and she prints. And she keeps it moist until the end of the process. So the weather or whatever that day, it does affect it a little bit. As she's printing, sometimes they dry out more quickly or slowly, and she adjusts her moisture balance with her brushes. So a humid day, she doesn't have to add much water. On a really dry day, she has to add more water as she goes. She just drives down the middle of the road, depending on the surrounding humidity. And in order that they don't get moldy, because it takes her weeks sometimes to do a single print run, in order that they don't get moldy, bang, it comes here to the freezer, where it sleeps every night in the freezer. It gets frozen solid into a brick. And this is why you saw me panicking a little bit a few minutes ago, because I had thought perhaps that one of the printers was coming today, and I hadn't yet removed their paper from the freezer. What's the next Heroes print? The next one in production right now is Times Burn Bright. And beyond that, we haven't got the next one decided yet, the next main Heroes print, because we've got a little bit of diversion going. As you know, we're doing the cat series, the Sushi Cat series, 3 prints. And Chon-san, who would have been carving the next Heroes print for us, is at the moment, he's carving Sushi Cats. Then it'll be Ramen Cats and Sake Cats, those 3. So from here on until the end of the year, our new print production, other than subscription prints, our new print production will mostly be based on the Sushi Cat series. Then come January, February, whatever, we'll work it out in advance. We'll start the next Heroes print, because we've got 3 more at least to do to pull us to a set of 20. And I have no idea what that will be yet. It's way too far in advance to see. What's the quickest I can size? I don't understand the question. You can see what I'm doing. It's just one sheet at a time, one sheet at a time. Professional, traditional sizers are faster than me because they don't talk to people while they're doing it, obviously. As though there were such people left, which there is now only one. Yeah, if I was a super craftsman here, right? Pull, sheep, bang, dip, bang, pull, sheep, bang, dip, bang. I'm not a traditional craftsman at all. From their point of view, this is like a hobbyist just fooling around slowly, slowly, slowly. But it gets done. Also, I apologize for yesterday for skipping the stream. Sorry about that. It was a combination of a bunch of different things. When I woke up that morning, it was late again. I'd been up really, really late the night before. I hadn't got that tracing thing worked out. I hadn't actually had time to take the iPad data and make a physical tracing because of the work on the video the day before. And the shop was a total mess. I just left, the teleprompter was there, everything was there, all in a mess. I woke up late. It's half an hour to go before 8 o'clock. I didn't have tracing ready. I couldn't start color carving. I hadn't done any preparation for this. You have to put the glue into the water the night before. So I couldn't do a sizing stream, couldn't do a carving stream. I just had nothing available for streaming, and the physical shop was just a mess, and I was tired. So I'm sorry. I just put the note on the Twitch page. I cannot do this today. So sorry about that. Did I manage to finish the video recording? What to say, what to say, what to say. Easy answer is yes, but it was Tuesday and I spent all day Tuesday doing it. And it's a hugely difficult recording. The one this time, it's a ramble story. Ramble stories, I've done 2 so far. Up to now, they've been dead easy. Get a bunch of stuff, put it on my desk, turn the camera on and go. And half an hour later, it's done, uploaded to YouTube. It's all done in an hour. The 2 previous ramble stories have been dead easy. The one about Ito-san the carver, then the one about the block problem with the Kuchie print. This one is turning out to be a monster. It's a monster. I got all kinds of props ready, a little diary, a letter from Okada-san, some prints, some wood blocks, all the props that I needed to tell the story. I got him around. I made myself, not a script, because this is a ramble story. It's not a script. Good morning, this is woodblock printmaker David Ball here in our studio in Saxatoke. We don't do it like that. So I made a teleprompter on an index card set. Just a set of index cards. I showed one on the blog post yesterday. If you haven't seen it, on our Mocha Hong Kong Conversations blog, there's a blog post which shows the recording setup I used on Tuesday, including the teleprompter, and it's a sample card in the teleprompter window you can see. It's just index cards. Anyway, whatever, blah, 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 blah. It took me till about Tuesday noon or so to get it all set up. Had a nice lunch, then I put the camera on and I did the thing. One take. I mean, I say one take, but of course I'd been rehearsing, preparing for days and days and days. But the take itself was just one take. Unfortunately, the camera card ran out of space partway through, just about 7 minutes from the end, which I didn't discover. So after I got to the end and I was feeding it back into the computer, I realized that the last one had cut off. So I had to go back to the bench, start again about 0.7 minutes from the end. So if you saw the finished video, you'd see it's all one take with one click, which is the second take of the last 7 minutes because the camera card ran out of space. You do a 37-minute video in one take on a camera, that's a lot of data. So anyway, long story short, whatever. I then put it into the movie software, put in the B-roll, took a bunch of B-roll, put it in there, adjusted the audio, got it all set. 37 minutes, turned out the lights downstairs, put it up on my Mac, large screen, got a cup of coffee, and sat down to be the first person to watch it. This hasn't been uploaded to YouTube yet, of course. And it was boring. I'm exaggerating, but it was boring. It just isn't good enough. You can see that the guy is so self-conscious. He's trying to do a good job. He's trying to do this. He's trying to do that. It's 100% self-conscious in a way that the previous videos haven't been, in a way that I'm not right now. I'm just talking to, And I don't know how to get across this barrier now, That previous Ramble video, Ito-san's story, there's now nearly 1 million viewers, whatever. It's over 800,000 viewers, whatever. So when I'm making a new one now, I'm thinking, Dave, you're going to be speaking, telling this story to 1 million people. Now, whatever, I've been on TV before, NHK, live NHK news programs, which 10 million people see, 20 million people see. You can't think about it. You don't do it. You just, the interviewer talks to you, you tell the story. Because you're not conscious of the thing. But now it's stuck, How to me it's stuck. And a really good way to do it would be to have somebody there to have a conversation with. Put the camera on. This person would sort of ask a couple of questions to get started, and then we'd have a conversation on these points. And he's got the index cards in his head, and he keeps me on track, and I just tell the story. I don't care where the camera is or whatever, and that way we can do a good story. But there's nobody around here who can do that. You need the world's best interviewer, and I don't have access to that sort of thing. So it's all in my own head. That's what those index cards are for. But the teleprompter was there, and the thing I'm not reading it. It's not like that, but it's just, it was boring. So I didn't upload it. And then yesterday in the shop was crazy busy, and now today's going to be crazy busy, and I'm back at freaking square one again. Yeah, instead of the Ramble format, make a simpler video. Yeah, that's sort of looking like a not such a bad idea, Just bite off a smaller piece instead of biting off a 40-minute epic, crack the window here. The place was all sealed up last night because of the threat of a typhoon. I haven't cracked all the windows open. Cameron saw it yesterday. He saw part of it actually. He hasn't seen the whole thing. He saw part of it. He saw what half. He made some notes. This could be better. This could be better. This could be better. He said clearly, if you put this up, people will love it. But. Okay, maybe it starts to sound a bit pretentious, whatever. Yeah, it'll get a bunch of check marks. People will love it. The view count will go up. But it's just not as good as it should be. What can I say? Again, I start to sound like a bit of a jerk on this, you know. What's common sense and so it won't be boring for us. So I'm sure you would be sort of happy with it. I'm not arguing with that. I don't know where to draw the balance between those two things. You know, I start to sound like a pretentious asshole. You know, no, it's not perfect, so I can't do it. But you do have to try and make things as good as you can, as well as you can. And if I can see, no, that's not good, no, that's not good, no, that's not good. If I can see that, then it's my job to take out those problems and to fix it, you know. There's lots of stuff that I don't see. For example, you know, that Ito-san video, the one that's got 800 whatever blah 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 views. It's not perfect either. I can see lots of things now that should have been better with it. I get it. I'm not the world's perfect person and I can't do a perfect job all the time. But I didn't, you know, it was as good as I could make at the time, which is all you can do. But this one, it isn't even as good as I can make at the time. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, we're half the stack. Front side is done. Let's flip it over. Even the best thing, no, not a home run every time. No, of course not, of course not, of course not. I'm not an idiot in that sense. Of course not. I know it. I'm not going to hold back and do a replay till I get a home run. I'm just trying to make a good video. I'm just trying to get on base. If you want to play the baseball analogy. If you sit here trying to wait for the home run, then that's it. That'll never finish because you can never, ever, 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 ever guarantee that. I'm just trying to make something that is nice and decent and up to our normal standards. That's all. Oh, sorry, touch the freezer. I've got the wrong name for you stuck in my mind here. Okay, for those of you who are new to this, what we've done is we've now coated the top surface of the sheets in that stack with glue. I just flipped it over And now we're going to pull them off in the same order that we did before, because this was on the bottom of the stack, it's now on the top. So this is sheet number 1, and it's quite wet, but it still has, the paper's still stable, even though it's wet, it doesn't collapse and decay. It's been moistened mostly on the front side, water has seeped through the whole sheet, but the glue is mostly on the front surface. And now we have to do the back side. Again, the first sheet sometimes slides on the paper, so a little bit of tape just to help it so it doesn't slide along. Because the paper now is quite full of water, it's not totally saturated, but because it's got quite a lot of water in it, I don't need as much liquid in the brush. So for the back side, it's dipping, 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 same as before. We knock off a bit more. And I can't, you know, give you numbers or quantifications, but the brush is now a bit lighter than it was for the first half. And I might even move a little bit faster because it's dumping liquid quicker. So we're trying to get an even touch front and back. Well, we could build a machine for this, I'm sure, which would do it all perfectly. Well, he's here, the man himself, Cameron-san. Hello, hello, hello. Suga-san's up and running. I don't know if she needs you just yet, but Suga-san needs you.
Yeah, I'll go see.
But we have a problem in that I've got the tripod. I am using it for something, so
That's okay. I think
there is another
we're
tripod.
doing a scan, and we have the small tripod,
Okay.
so I can at least get one.
Is she doing a small impression today, or I don't know? Check with her anyway. See what's going on. So. And don't forget to come and say hello when you get a minute. This is going well today. Very nice, very smooth, even coverage. I'm very happy with this. Our printers are happy too. Recently, you know, going back a year, 2 years ago, we were so much struggling with the sizing. The printers were complaining every time. Recently now, the printers are really happy because we've just done this in a very stable way. It's the same guy with the same mix and the same brush in the same place. You know, it's not the same mix. We adjust the glue based on the temperature. But it's under all one person's control now.
I'm going to scan the one that we did last night.
Okay, hey. What they're doing, and this went downstairs, the two of them together, what she's doing is each time one impression is done, she's got little marks on the back of the paper. She knows that that might be sheet number 57 or something, whatever she's done. She's got the same one marked. So after she's done one color, she and Cameron take that same sheet, they put it in a plastic file so it doesn't dry out, and quickly they run downstairs. His office is now down in my old carving room downstairs. They keep it in the plastic file, they scan it, then she comes back up and gets busy with this work. So he's not only making a video of this thing, step by step, color by color by color, they're scanning the same sheet of paper in exactly the same location on the scanner bed as we go. So they should be able to make a very nice little slideshow of colors coming up on this print as we finish it. I did that a few times before. Some of the earlier heroes, I forget, I think I did it for the Fox Moon and some of the other ones. And my scanner was on the other side of the room, and I'd get to the end. I was doing it all by myself in those days. And I'd get to the end, grab the sheet of paper, run across the room. And once I dropped it, of course, face down. It's a law of you know, of sandwiches, whatever. Face down on the floor, and it picked up all kinds of dirt spots. So for the whole last half of the scans, I had to use the same copy, and I had to go through with Photoshop and take out the dirt spots from every one. So hopefully they're doing it a little bit more professional way here. And he told me, I haven't checked it yet, he says he's found a better setting on the scanner that makes it look like butter paper. So, but I didn't have a chance to check that with him. So, law of sandwiches, not the law of sandwiches. It's a law of something. I don't know, whatever. A piece of toast falls down butter side down or something. It's the law of butter side down or whatever it is. I'm sure it's there in Wikipedia somewhere. And of course, it's confirmation bias. Top to bottom. Sugi-san, 今何回ちょっと let's show. Is it covered with plastic?
今スキャンしてもらって
Okay, here's where we are so far. Is Jed watching today? Here's where we are on the thing so far. 今何色ですか, Sugi-san?
今6色入っ
This
てる
is
かな
6, maybe the key block plus 6 colors. She's not quite sure how many so far. Maybe I should put it in the bigger camera. That might make more sense.
あ、そっち
Here's where we are so far. And of course, it doesn't look anything like the finished print. But you can see where we're going with this. Hi, okay. Cover this up. Keep it moist. Away you go. Thank you, thank you.
ありがとうございます。
It's coming along nicely. Good morning, everyone.
How'd you get through the typhoon last night? Rattled windows and stuff? That's all we got here. Just
Yeah,
some
it wasn't bad at all.
No, it veered east and went out to, I guess, off the coast of Chiba or somewhere, up towards the nuclear power station.
Oh, right where they want.
So, where they want it. So it was nothing. The typhoon that was supposed to hit Tokyo yesterday basically didn't. It was
Just
quite a
some
big
wind, a little bit of
Yeah.
rain.
So shake the windows a little bit, no big deal. I go out in the street this morning, there's half a dozen broken umbrellas outside. People that were in the bars too late last night went outside, boom, umbrella broken.
Yeah.
Instead of taking it home, they just toss it aside. There's another law of broken
Not
umbrellas.
worth
Where,
the bother, I guess.
yeah, right. Who's bother?
Yeah. Oh. And in that state of mind.
Got a mini typhoon in Canada last night. What? Over in which end of the country? Typhoons must be Pacific. Hurricanes are in the east. Or is he just talking about something happened with his wife or something? Is it? I don't know what we're talking literally or figuratively here. You're a bit tired this morning, okay?
Me?
You're still a bit under the weather?
Yeah, still a little bit, but
Cameron had his first official sick day the other day. Was it the first time?
yeah. You wouldn't have wanted me here.
It sounds like you're still a bit on top.
Lei-chan's here to
Oh,
join
good.
the stream too.
Cameron had a problem the last couple of days. He was at home. He didn't feel so good. The kid is sick. He caught a bit of the same thing. So you have a sick day. Common sense. No problem. You just book off. You stay home for the day. The way things should work. But he knows Sugi-san's in the middle of this printing process. And Sugi-san's printing 3 or 4 or 5 colors each day. And it's Cameron's job at the moment to film these.
Yeah.
So what's Cameron going to do? He's going to phone Dave. Dave, say, Dave, I'm not quite up to it. And he knows that I would have to do that job. And this was Tuesday, and I was downstairs making my masterpiece video.
Yes.
So he cannot phone me to do this. And he's barfing,
So I-
whatever. I have no idea what's going on.
Message to her. I was like, but you don't normally come in on Tuesdays. Are you coming in today?
So Sugi-san booked off, right? Is that what happened? So
she was off and said, oh,
So
good,
he
'cause
convinced
I can't do it
Sugi-san to stay
anyway.
off. So they took the pressure off me for Tuesday. But then we roll along Wednesday. He still doesn't feel so good. She cannot book off 2 days in a row for this job. No way. So she comes in to start printing, and he's not good. What's he going to do? Phone Dave and ask him to do it, or drag his carcass in here?
Yeah.
No,
Carcass.
so-
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man.
Whatever. I'm laughing, but whatever. You know. The
I'm here.
situations.
I was so party
Oh,
up
look at
here.
this. Hey, party. Come and say hello again. This is an unusual event. Here, come and say hello.
The Rays
Ray-chan,
together.
Ray-chan, Ray-chan. Ray and Ray. We've never seen this before. Ray-chan, get in the camera there.
That's right. And other days.
Which camera are we? Okay, hi. This is, where are we? On your, no, next to me is Rei-chan, the shop Rei-chan. She does print parties. She's the, whatever. And next to her is the printer Rei-chan, who is at the moment. What are you printing right now?
The Patreon.
Oh yeah, more Patreons. We've run out of Patreon print. She's doing another batch of those. And you just finished the Red Dragonfly. And I forget what was before that. You've done a bunch of prints. So the monkey and crab print in our catalog, she's done a bunch of those. The red dragonfly, it's all nature prints
Sakura
recently
moyo.
these days. So. She's doing a really, really nice job. So, thank you very much. No, you know you are. Don't be so shy. It's okay, it's okay. This Ray-chan is not printing at all. She's totally useless for printing. for printing. But we're having a ton of fun in the shop. She's so good with the print party people. They come in and seconds later she's chatting with them. And it's so cool because when I was your age, I could not do that. So I look at you in sort of stunned admiration. When I was 16, when anybody talked to me, I'm just, I couldn't do anything. So to see you able to do this is just so pleasing for me. We're so happy. Cameron, put yourself in the back. You just get a snapshot. Put it in there. So here we are. Look at this. It's part of the Mokankan team.
And they all run away.
They all run
It's like,
Okay, anyway, get to work, guys.
Right.
Hi. I said the shop's open. The shutter's open, but the shop is not. You either take my key or use the one on the stairway. Oop, top secret. What did I just say?
Thank you.
And there it is. Quiet again. They're fun, you know, it's a fun bunch of people. It really is. Either we've chosen well or they've just picked up the vibe that we have here. I don't know how much of, you know, how it works, but we really have a good team here, you know. I think part of it's for me because I try and run a cheerful ship as much as possible. They pick up that vibe. And in difference from some other typical Japanese companies where you have to be serious, we don't play the serious game. Well, we were serious with the work, of course, but we don't expect sullen faces and keep quiet and blah, blah, blah. We just encourage people to have fun and laugh and goof around a little bit. It's more of a Canadian style, I guess, you know. So far, so good. You know, they're not all perfect. We've actually, I let one go last year. You know, it's a face that was here that you don't see anymore. We don't need to really talk about that. But he just wasn't fitting the dynamic. He just wasn't able to be cheerful, wasn't able to smile, wasn't able to be happy. He froze like a rock when talking to the customers. I had to sit down with him and say, this isn't working out. But the crew we do have, and the people we're still looking for, so far so good, you know. I think it's possible to be serious with the work and not be, you know, what's the word? I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Abusive. I want to be abusive with the quality. If that print that she's doing is out of misregister or something, we'll throw them away. She knows we'll throw them away. We've thrown hundreds away before. So I'm going to be really not so happy and strict and serious with the work. But you don't need to do that with the people. They're trying to do this. So even if she did screw this up and get something misregistered, there's no reason to be abusive to her and yell at her. She's a super cool girl trying to do a good job. So when there are mistakes and when things do go wrong, you try and figure out what happened and put it behind you and just go forward. And the idea that you would fire her and start again with somebody else, you're back to ground zero. Once they've made a bunch of mistakes, they're probably not going to make the same mistakes again. So that somebody who's making mistakes in that sense becomes a more valuable person to you because they're not going to do the same thing again. Here comes earthquakes. Ready? It's okay, just a joke, no problem. See, she bangs the tripod. Don't just. Also, Rei-chan, this morning, this paper, I needed to. This paper is for the Crows and Moon print for Kubota-san. It's okay, relax, we're sending some to Kubota-san. But I didn't know how big it was. Before I cut the paper, I needed to know the size. So I went to your desk, I'm sorry, I looked in your file. I stole this, so you can take it back now. This is from your, actually, I need a sample to send to Kubota-san. So before I send this today, we need to take a sample and send to Kubota-san. So anyway, I went to your desk this morning to steal this, so I'm sorry. In the shop, the ones we have are all trimmed already, so I can't see the paper size. So. Ninki desu. So, すごい人気。もう also the ボタンとスズメも人気ですが、寸法がちょっと違うんですから、カラスと月、そう、side by side, 145, 155, 145, 155, 300, perfect. 150, 150できないです。It's perfect combination. What's this? Nice to see a friendly face without a bunch of hair on it. Is that a joke or is that a shooting at me? That's part of the video too, you know. Before I did that video, I washed my hair, got set up, and even though there's too much hair, I need a haircut. I thought it was sort of okay because I washed it. But within 5 seconds of the video, I've got my hands in here like this, and it's all chaos. And for the rest of the video, there's just this jungle appearance. You know, I've got to get a freaking haircut. That's just another one of the reasons why that video just didn't make it. You know. Sigh, sigh, sigh. Is that 2 sheets or one? Which one? Tryptomane. That's the problem. When? So we joked about that before, didn't you? Ask Sugusan to cut my hair. Oops, dumping a tiny bit too much here. Be careful, be careful. At this point it starts to get a bit careful. You can easily, when you're pushing the brush, they can stack up here and make creases. I think we're okay. You have to be careful, really careful about this. These back corners really are capable of creasing. As you push the brush, it stacks the paper on top of each other. So this is the problem, you know, there's lots of places near here to get a haircut or to get it, whatever. I don't go to a barber, I learned that long ago, they just don't know what to do with me. So you go to a normal, you know, what do you call it, salon, where women can do it, you know. But I learned, you know, the woman that's been doing it, the woman who lives back near my home in Ome, she's been doing it for decades. I myself, I don't care, anything is okay. But once I turned it over to her, she has really strong ideas about what it should be. And if I go somewhere else to get it chopped off a bit, she gets really upset. Not again. What have you done? You went somewhere else. I told you. I can't fix it once they've messed it up, you know. And she's all into this. With me, it doesn't matter because for the 1 day after getting a haircut, it's nice. 2 days, 3 days, it's nice. And then it's too long. So it's okay for 3 days. Then it's too long for 2 months. Then it's okay for 3 days. Then it's too long for months again. It's just something, whatever. I don't have a lot of hair. It's really thin now compared to what it used to be, but it just doesn't stop pouring out of my head. Just whatever, it's DNA again. You know. She's bossy, yeah, she's bossy. Whatever, I think that's what you want. You know, I can't challenge her for being bossy, and yet I myself do the same thing with my own workers here. I'm as bossy a boss as you'll ever see, you know. the official stylist. You're laugh. This is a joke, but it's actually X% not a joke. She's the official stylist for the famous Dave Bull. She has helped establish his style. The problem is this: if you go back, whatever it is, 10, 15 years when I moved out there, there's this lady who's down the street, 3 houses from me. I didn't know her, and I made a real big mistake. What had happened was I was supposed to do an NHK TV program or some kind of TV program, and my hair had been a bit too long. I'd been going somewhere else. I just moved and bought this house, so I didn't know where to go. I see the sign 3 doors down the street. I go and knock on the door and say, do you will you cut my hair? And she says, well, this is a beauty salon. We mostly do with women and stuff. She'd seen me. She knew I moved in, so she knew who I was. But she said, no, this is a beauty salon. There's no barber here in the neighborhood. And I said, really, no. I mean, barbers, I just you can cut my hair. Just relax. Let's try this, And then the big mistake I made was, look, I have no time. 2 days from now, I have to go to the NHK studio, and I'm going to be on live news, blah, 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 blah. And she panicked. She thought, oh my God, get in here, sit down. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Because she saw me as a mess, and she had to fix this mess ready for being on TV. And I really don't care. It doesn't matter. It's a news program that didn't care about my hair. They were just viewing my printmaking, whatever. But that set the tone for our, what can I say, for our relationship, can I say? Did I do this sheet or not? I'm in trouble now. No, I didn't do that one yet. So now in her mind, yeah, she knows I'm on TV all the time. There was a TV crew here yesterday afternoon filming us for another program that's going to be online in a couple of weeks. We've done 2 this week. We've been filmed for 2 TV shows this week. So it's happening with us all the time. So she thinks of herself as the person who tries to keep Dave's hair under control because he's on the media all the time. And it's very frustrating for her because I don't show up for a couple of months. So if I still lived out there, it's no problem. She would grab me. She'd say, look, let's get going on this, time to come and sit down. And I'd say, okay. She would basically control it. But because I don't live there, it's out of the question. So whatever, rambling about nothing. It's a stupid thing to happen. But no, she doesn't do anything. Just chops the hair. She doesn't know. She's nervous about this. That's why this is such a mess too. She won't touch that. The other funny part is when you go down to the studios, we were, I don't know, TV Talk here or something a month ago. Somebody saw the program. We went down to the studio and we did a session in one of the TV studios down there. A bunch of you guys saw it because it was on internet broadcast. We're good. We're down there for live, but it's live. Right? So we're down there a couple of hours in advance and then doing it. And they send me to the makeup room. They put powder on your face to stop the shininess and all that stuff from the studio. And I go in there and sit down in the chair and the girl just looks at me and she's like, I can see what she's thinking. What the hell am I going to do with this? So I just said, whatever, just do the basic thing you have to do. I don't sweat so much, so it won't be shiny. Don't panic, And she tried to spray it a little bit so that it would stay out of my eyes so that I wouldn't be doing this and this and this and this during the TV program. And it basically worked. If you saw the program, you'll see Dave, for 5 minutes in his life, is not desperately trying to keep his hair out of his eyes. Because she fixed it with some concrete spray or something, I don't know. I'm just the wrong guy in the wrong place at the wrong time sometimes, Now, what are we going to do here with this sizing? I've got about 6 or 7 sheets left. But we've got the usual problem. Hanging it up happens in the next room. I could call Cameron. He can come up here and help me move the camera. But I can't hang it up straight away. It's got to wait 15 or 20 minutes or so. So I think actually this might just be it today for this part of it, Just finish this coating and then sign up. It's already 9:10 here, it says. A show and tell would be okay. A show and tell with what? So I like having longer hair despite the keeping out of my eyes issue. I don't know what to think about it myself, you know. Analyzing our own behavior or something is really sometimes quite difficult. And I myself don't understand the behavior. I see people around me who do the grooming thing. They will shave in the morning and do the haircut thing like once a week, whether they need it or not. They go to the barber, get a trim. Grooming and stuff seems to be part of normal people's approach to life. They're careful about their clothes. They like to go clothes shopping. They got a closet full of clothes. What should I wear today? I sort of, for some reason, I've never been into that, and I don't quite know why. I don't have clothes. As you've seen, I've got the same 3 shirts that just go in rotation. When one of them finally starts to come apart, I buy another one. The same underwear, stuff like that. And grooming, to me, this just takes care of itself, and at some point I can't bear it anymore, and I chop it back, and then it grows until I can't bear it anymore. I don't know, this is a defect in character, or it's just a certain character type, or I don't really know. It's always been like this. It's always been like this. Clothes and stuff and appearance and that sort of stuff, it just hasn't been something that I found any interest in. And as a result, I don't know how to do these things. You know, on occasions I do have to buy clothes. I go into the clothes store and right away I get sweat under my arms. Can I choose the right thing? What's the right size? If I have to talk to somebody, how do they explain it? I don't know how to handle this. You know. I guess there's certain character types that have certain interests in life, and for some reason I just fell into this particular character type. I don't know. I have a higher tolerance to it. I know part of it, remember, I'm self-employed. I don't have a job, and the boss isn't going to say, Dave, didn't want to talk about something personal, but I think it's time you cut your hair or something. So I don't have a boss, so it's just up to me, which is part of the problem, of course. Because when you take a person with this particular personal characteristic and put them in a place where there's no boundaries anymore, there's no boss, or there's no person sitting next to you on the next desk, or no wife to keep things under control. You put this person in a completely free environment where there's no boundaries, and this is what you get. You get chaos. You get this gorilla thing. So I either need a boss or a girlfriend or something. Maybe the employees should do this for me, when we had them all here, they should all gang up and say, Dave, didn't want to tell you this, but time for a shower, whatever. I'm not too bad with the shower thing. That thing I got sussed. That's easy. There's a rule. Just every morning have a shower. That takes care of it. No. That's something I learned long ago. That you don't mess with that one. So every morning have a shower. Okay, where are we? It's 9:15. I think we're done. What to do? I can't hang this up yet. It's got to wait for at least 15 or 20 minutes. think I left the cover sheet somewhere. Okay, there we go. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it's got to wait. So let's wrap this up. We're talking about socks now and stuff. Yeah, not uncommon, me. So. Where are we? Okay, let's do this. It's 9:17. Let's wrap this up. Schedule on for tomorrow. Today's Thursday. Dosa, now there is one more batch of dosa to do because now Kanai-san, the girl who's working in her own home in Nagano, she needs another batch of paper. She needs it by Monday. So sometime I've got her paper and Sugu-san's next paper have to be prepared before Monday. So there will be a sizing stream. It might be Saturday morning or Sunday morning. But my current plan at the moment now is for Friday morning. Tomorrow morning, I have got to be getting back to carving. So sometime during today, in the middle of all the customers being here, I will take that tracing that we saw 2 days ago, 3 days ago. I'll take that tracing, get it printed out with a laser, get it on a wood block. So really, really, really the plan at the moment is for tomorrow morning's stream to be down in the shop with my knife in hand doing the carving. Or maybe you'll see me paste the tracing down. Maybe I'll save it. I can paste it down while you're watching and then start carving. That's the current plan. And then from then on, it'll be a mix. There will be carving streams will continue, and there will be occasional slicing streams. But at the moment, that's it for now. So I'm sorry about yesterday missing it, and I'm sorry about a bit of a chaotic schedule here these days. I know at one point I've got to show you some financial stuff. It is insane. It's going crazy. I know we're still on track to be 150% up over last year, and last year was 150% up over the previous year. And you can see this. That's why there's so much sizing going on, because we're producing and producing and producing. And we've had printers coming on board. Kanai-san came back after 2 years off having a baby, and I don't know what I told you about this last week, but we got a visit from Ayumi-san, who left just a year ago to have a baby. She now has the kid. It's 3 months old. It must be just exactly a year ago she left. And she wants to do some work. And she doesn't want to work at home. She wants to come here. Oh, good morning, Hassan-san. Oh, you gonna say hello? Maybe these people haven't seen you before. I don't know. Have the stream people met you? Have you met the stream people before?
No.
Just a new face, a new face. This is Chihiro-san. Chihiro's Hosono-san.
Hosono,
I keep
yes.
thinking about you as Doi. I'm sorry. You might have met Doi-san, the older guy, the only person in this whole company who's older than me, Doi-san.
Oh, really?
Of course.
そうか。
What? I'm 66, right? He's
Almost 70.
yeah, I told you. There's nobody else older than me except your dad. So, anyway, her dad has been working with us. He's been the Monday staff. He's a print collector who I knew years and years and years and years and years ago. He's been working for us for a few years now. He sent his daughter over here one day. Or I asked him, or I can't remember. I don't know what happened. Anyway, this is Chihiro-san. She was born in Hawaii, so she can speak English.
Yay.
All right.
Lucky,
So
lucky.
she's working in the shop, and her dad and me, we've trained her and chatted with her about, prints and stuff. So you're learning bit by bit by bit by bit.
Yes,
And she's been helping in the print parties. And I don't think you can do a print party all by yourself yet. Can you?
Well,
Moistening the paper and stuff?
Moistening the paper, I need more time, a little bit more time, but I'm
But the rest of
trying.
it, you can do the stream.
Yes,
So can you handle a 6 kids party yet?
It's a challenge.
Well, you're a mom type. You can do that, right?
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Anyway, there's one more new face. I don't know how many people you have or haven't met yet. And half an hour ago, we had Nordei-chan and Cameron all here together on the campus.
Oh, really?
So today's a bunch of new faces for you guys.
Okay.
So her dad is the person who worked at the beer company. He was in Hawaii. Kirin Beer sent him to Hawaii to be their representative there, which sounds at first, it sounds like the job from heaven.
Yes.
Oh my God. Working in Hawaii as a rep for Kirin Beer. I mean, how much better than that does it get? It wasn't. It was the job from hell. Because he's the Japanese rep on the ground. He speaks English. He does the touring and do that. What happens though, 20 times a month, the email comes in the middle of the night or the phone call comes, the sub-boss of the management depot, whatever, is heading to Hawaii for a vacation with his family. Take care of him. So Doi-san's got to meet him at the airport. He's got to go golfing with him. The guy's beck and call. He's a servant and a slave to all the execs for Kirin who were heading for Hawaii, both for business and for breaks. So it really was the job from hell.
I never saw him,
No, so that's what he told us.
house.
He said he had a family there, but he never saw them. So never. He's just out day by day by day by day by
right.
day.
That's
So.
right.
How long was he there? What was the term?
maybe 6 or 7 years.
Years, my God. He said he aged 20 years during the 6 years, you know, so whatever. So a slave in paradise, that's the thing. Working for a Japanese company in Hawaii. Unbearable. Yeah. Okay, anyway, let's wrap this up. I've got to do my job here. You've got to get down to the shop. Party at 10 o'clock, right?
Yes,
Yep, you're all set. Okay, thanks for dropping by. Where was I? Wrapping this up. Let's do this. Let's wrap it up. It's Thursday morning. I'll be back Friday morning. I hope I'll be downstairs with a carving stream. Will fate push us in a different direction? Who knows? Hey, thanks again. Sorry for the chaotic approach to this recently. Somebody else on the stairs? No, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. See you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. It never ends.